Hi Leo, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. And we are going to be speaking about Saturn Transit in 2014 in Leo, which is transiting a part of your chart that has to do with home, it has to do with real estate, it has to do with your parents. Leo's Saturn has been in this part of your chart since 2013 and it continues transiting it till 23rd of December 2014 before it moves on to Sagittarius and into a part of your chart that will have to do with love, relationships, children and a lot of passion and creativity. So Saturn this year, continuing the trend from the last year, is still urging you to focus on the things that have to do with real estate. Maybe some of you are planning on your retirement, you're putting aside a retirement nest. Some of you are maybe worried about your dream home that is getting constructed and it's taking the longest of time. You didn't think how big a challenge it would be and it's just turning out to be in one monstrous job. For some of you, you could be quite concerned about your parents. It could either be that your responsibility towards them has increased, or it could also be that you are being made to realize how important they are or the value that they have in your life. Leo, Saturn is always looked upon as the big daddy planet, or the planet that is mean without being really having a purpose, just for the sake of being mean. And since 2013, Saturn has been asking you to take a look at patterns that have to do with your childhood memories, that have to do with your childhood. Maybe it has to do with fear, it has to do with certain complexities that could be affecting your confidence as you have grown into an adult. It could be having to do, maybe for some of you, maybe unable to commit in a relationship because it stems far deeper, when you were a child. It could also have to do with maybe inability to have or not wanting to have children because you had very strict parents when you were growing up and you always worry about as to what is the sort of parent you will be. For some of you, it could be that you are remodeling your house and there's some amount of reconstruction that is changing of a house and it just seems to be unending and it could be a little frustrating. Now Saturn, every time it comes into a part of any of our charts or a particular house that it transits in for about 2.5 years, it's asking us to redo, it's asking us to change, and Saturn is all about making or moving you towards conclusion. It asks you to close ends that have been lying loose for the longest. Maybe there have been issues that you have not wanted to discuss, address or even acknowledge, and they've just been lying for the longest. And for those of you who choose not to work on these issues and say, another transit and who cares, it's not so bad and things are quite fine, I don't need to be working. Well, you will be no more wiser, and not that the sky will fall on your head, but after the Saturn transit gets over, and it will come again in the next couple of X years, and it will repeat the pattern for you. So it's a good opportunity that Saturn gives, and yes, the lessons are not too easy. For some of you, it may be quite hard to manage the additional responsibilities of your parents, and you could be finding it quite hard, and you could be required to stretch yourself more, make an additional effort. And for those of you, again, like I'm saying, Saturn really rewards immensely for those who work with Saturn, make that extra effort, work more upon themselves and walk that extra mile. Saturn for sure, when it leaves this part of your chart or any part of a particular chart that it is transiting, it rewards you immensely regarding those particular aspects that it is transiting in that particular house. So it's a good opportunity to address fears, childhood fears. It could be that some of you, it can border on being quite obsessive about how it is that you look at relationships, how it is that you look at work, what it is that makes you secure, or how it is that you define security. I'm sorry, there's an aircraft going just above. So it will be speaking about your childhood memories, your patterns that have got formed from childhood to the adult that you are today, and you could be realizing or you could not be realizing as to why is it that there is a fear of a certain anchoring, security. Maybe security is something that just scares you. You don't want to get tied down and you don't want to be in that too secure a space. So you will really be asked these questions. Saturn is going to be asking you, what is it that makes you anchored, feel anchored? What is it that makes you feel secured? What is your sense of security, where it is that you derive it from? And a lot of focus as well on your siblings, your interactions with people. So use this time, use this entire year, Leos, to work on relationship with parents, communication that could have got broken down that needs to get open. Use this time to heal. Use this time to not necessarily go in for a professional counseling or a therapy, although that wouldn't be bad as well for some, but it's a good way to heal through communication, to talk about things that worry you, talk about your fears, and which, like I said, since it's a house, fourth house is a house of Cancer, and it also it focuses on your mother as well. So a lot of childhood things which go deep down in your own self and in your own mind. So it's going to be pulling out a lot of stuff from inside and making you look at it. Saturn transits have been feared for centuries. The superficial reading suggests that they bring about all sorts of calamities with it. They bring dissatisfaction, they bring about sudden change, they bring about illness, they bring about depression. A lot of times I've also heard people say, that, oh, Saturn is there in my chart for 2.5 years or for 7.5 years, and this is the worst period, and I'm, whatever else is going wrong in my life, this is what it is. Saturn is to be blamed for it. So Saturn has quite a bad reputation. He is known to be this mean person, who's mean just for the sake of being mean. Saturn's idea is not to destroy everything that you love. It's not trying to cause any trouble or make you work unnecessarily hard. Saturn's job is just to hold up a mirror to you and make you do things that you have been ignoring or need to get addressed at this point of time in your life. So get to work. For those of you, you still have a good 6 months ahead of you to do that phenomenal work. There's still a lot of communication, a lot of healing, a lot of planning for your future that you're planning to do. And I think also as far as parents are concerned, maybe patterns that you will be able to see in them and that are a reflection of who and what it is that you are today. And you could do some work on yourself to ensure that if there is something that bothers you about, maybe it's too much of rigidity or it is an absolute strict environment that you were brought up in or you grew up in, that you try not to make the same mistakes or similar patterns, that you don't carry them forward with your own children. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Leos. I'll speak with you soon, and thank you so much for watching.